I don't know if it's necessarily saying I want to be here, but I don't want to go there, and I don't want to go there now. And so you've earned that right. I know the Cardinals are going to have to figure it out because it does kind of put them in a bind in terms of, okay, now what are the next steps? Is he going to stay on the roster? Is he going to still, take up a roster spot, a position spot? We need to open that spot up and make it available, but how do we go about it? But that's what you're paid to do. Mm-hmm. Marshy mentioned it yesterday, like, this is your job. Figure it out. Whatever that looks like. And so, and your job is to have the best roster possible. We got to figure it out. If he wants to be here in the Cardinal uniform, you're going to pay him. He's going to play third base. Figure it out. If not, you're going to struggle. Well, we've seen that picture before.
Right.
We've seen that movie. So I slept on it. Don't have any other feelings other than good for him. You earned the right to do that. If that's not a place you want to go, if that's not a place. And I think the frustrating part for me is we're not just talking about baseball. We're talking about life. Like, your family has to move as well. Mm-hmm. Your kids have to go to another school. They have to get reacclimated to another place. Like, your wife has to find new friends in that city. It is more than just you go play baseball for the Astros and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Nah, you got family, you got kids, you got, parents, all of those things. I don't know his living situation, if his parents moved here or where they are. I don't know where his, it's a lot of things that take place when you're talking about a player moving or being traded to another place. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And maybe that's something that he didn't feel. I don't know if he's married or has kids, but if he does, that's something that you have to think about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I was trying to think of, like, best case, worst case scenario for the Cardinals, excuse me. Because you're right, from Arenado's standpoint, he exercised that no trade clause in his deal with the Rockies. That contract came over, and the Cardinals absorbed that. So now it became the Cardinals' no trade clause with Nolan Arenado. So from that standpoint, he can exercise that. He negotiated that, or his agent negotiated that in a contract. Done deal. It's a moot point now. We don't need to discuss that. So what's the best case scenario for the Cardinals? What's the worst case scenario for the Cardinals? I think the best case is pretty clear. Best case scenario, he either agrees to a deal at some point this offseason, and they still get a trade done. They free up a spot for Nolan Gorman to play third base every day, and they go about this retool as they intended to. That's kind of the best case scenario. The alternate universe best case scenario would be he doesn't get traded. He bounces back. The power numbers come back. And he no longer is a declining player. He's got a little bit of a mid-career, not even mid-career. I don't want to call it late career either. He just bounces back.
Resurgence.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, resurgence. So that could be. Worst case scenario, there is no trade. The numbers continue to decline. And you've got 3 years of an unproductive player. Mm-hmm. Or a year of an unproductive player plus. If they decide to eat the contract, move on, whatever they do.
Yeah, 3 years left for paying them.
Right. 3 years on the books, but I'm just saying, I don't know what they do from a playing standpoint beyond that.
Well, if he's not playing well, if he's not playing well, sit him down. Like, what difference does it make? You got to pay him regardless.
Yeah.
Like, so then that's the baseball move.
Yeah, I'm just talking about from a baseball standpoint.
Yeah,
because let's be honest here. Do you really care about the Cardinals having to pay Arenado? Because I don't.
I don't. I mean, it's not like you have had other money come off the books. You're fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to count. I don't like counting people's pockets, but I think.
But you made that. But it's not like you, Kerry Davis, made that commitment. Yeah. It's not like me, Anthony Stalter, made that commitment. You made that commitment. Right. So I don't really care that he'll be on the books for the next 3 years if that's the what happens. I'm talking about from a baseball standpoint, because if he winds up being an unproductive player and the offensive numbers continue to decline, and he's also still a full-time starter, from a baseball standpoint, that impacts your flexibility with some of these younger players that you want to, I assume, take a longer look at.
All right.
That, I think, is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be He's going to do what he wants to do and be where he wants to be. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, you earned that right by playing extremely well, by being a 10-time Gold Glove winner. Like, you've done your part. You earned the right to say, I get to choose where I want to go. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Or I don't want to go there now. Maybe I would have gone there, and maybe some moves that they've made makes me feel like, nah, I don't want to go there anymore.
Sure.
Figure it out. And as the organization, that's your job. We got a text here from the 314. It says, all that is good and well, but if the organization and the fan base don't want you somewhere, why would you want to continue to do that and put yourself and your family through it? Because at the end of the day, you're going to still get paid money, whether it's in St. Louis or somewhere else. Okay. Correct. I don't care if they don't want me here. If I want to be here, like we saw it with Torrey Krug. Like, people didn't want, they were big mad that he said, nah, I'm good. But as a player, you earned that right. I think that's the part we get so confused about with sports is, like, if a team wants to get rid of you, they get rid of you when they want to, however it goes. It doesn't matter whether it's trade, releasing you, moving on, cutting you, saying goodbye, thank you, don't let the door hit you on your way out. But if a player makes a decision and says, nah, I'm going to do this, whether it's, now I'm going to hold out. I don't want, you don't want to give me a contract? Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to hold out. Oh, he's so selfish. Brandon Ayuk tore his knee up this year. You think he's very happy that he was able to get a long-term contract before tearing his damn knee up?
I would say so.
You don't want to be traded. You're selfish. Nah, my family loves it here. I don't give a damn if you don't like me. My kids love their friends in the school that they go to.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I leave if I don't have to? If it's my choice. So for me, I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. And if it comes to a point where the Cardinals are telling him, you're not going to play, then maybe that changes his mindset, because I think playing is the most important thing to him. But until then, cool. Maybe he's a man after my own heart and is as stubborn as the day is long. And if that's the case, man, I'm proud of you.
Basically, what you're saying is that he's got to do what's best for him.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are trying to do what's best for them. There is a business aspect to this. So, all right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. By the way, Willie says, love CD's perspective on this, actually.
Thank you.
There you have it. Willie from the Snake Pit. Fire up Illini.
Oh. Big one this weekend, too.
Bragging rights game.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm excited, man. I've got my tickets. I'm going to be down there cheering on the ILLINI.
What do you think?
Illini by 40.
By 40?
Yeah. Okay. 25.
I don't think they're going to win by 40.
I said 25.
That's still a lot, Kerry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
25 is it?
All right, Anthony, 6.
Still a lot.
6 is a good number. It's a serious number, actually.
Once was. Once back when the Cardinals could score 6.
Don't worry about it.
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We'll get into some Blues. We got Chris Kerber coming up in a little bit, but have the Cardinals, when you look at this entire situation with the Cardinals, forget just the Nolan Arenado aspect of it. I read the Woody Johnson piece today at The Athletic. He's the Jets owner, and there's so much dysfunction, no surprise there with the Jets. But it did get me thinking about how much ownership matters. And if we apply it to the local side, while the Cardinals ownership, thankfully, will never be considered as dysfunctional as like the Jets or whatever, it does paint a picture of how the vision is so important from the ownership down that the Cardinals get this right with this retool. That's next on 101 ESPN. read through the Athletics' deep dive into the New York Jets' dysfunction, and it all starts with Woody Johnson, who's their owner. He had purchased the team from Leon Hess in 2000, and the Jets have been an unmitigated disaster ever since. Now, this wasn't an organization that has a long history of, winning like the Green Bay Packers, but it didn't reach the dysfunction that we now see. Part of the article discussed how Woody Johnson did not want Jerry Jeudy, who was going to be a Jet, because the front office had basically had everything in place to acquire Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver now for the Browns, to acquire him from the Broncos. Woody Johnson, apparently, viewed Jerry Judy's Madden rating as a reason not to acquire
Stop
him.
it, man.
This is a true story.
I'm dead serious.
It's not. So he was taken out of context when that was reported.
Let me read the paragraph to you. Douglas, as in former GM Joe Douglas, told the Broncos that Johnson didn't want to make the trade because the owner felt Judy's player rating in Madden NFL, the popular video game, wasn't high enough, according to multiple league sources. The Broncos ultimately traded the receiver to the Cleveland Browns, and last Sunday, Jeudy crossed the 1,000-yard receiving mark for the first time in his career. That was just one story. There are other stories of how Woody Johnson mingled in the front office's ability to do its job. He's got two sons that apparently will go into the locker room and talk crap about the players.
In the locker room?
In the locker room, or at least around the locker room. The whole Robert Saleh firing was a mess. Believe it or not, the article actually painted Aaron Rodgers in a pretty good light. Apparently Aaron Rodgers a couple of times kind of went to the front office and just asked for a little bit more patience when it came to some of the moves, some of the firings that eventually took place. But regardless of all this, if you read through it, it's quite unbelievable, including the Madden thing. But it did get me thinking about ownership overall. And I don't care if you are the CEO of a company, if you are running a football team. I mean, a lot of these owners obviously made their money in other avenues. Some in tech, some in stocks, some in Home Depot. Like, they made their money elsewhere and then bought the team. So clearly, these men had success running other companies, and then they get to the NFL, and it's like it's just a disaster. They meddle too much, or they make stupid decisions like Woody Johnson. But it got me thinking about the Cardinals ownership. The DeWitts will never be confused with Woody Johnson. They don't meddle. They love baseball. They let their baseball people do their baseball things. But I do wonder, Carey, where they're at with the vision of the club. Because we hear a lot of the player development. We're switching to more of a player development. If they don't pour in the resources that guys like Chaim Bloom and some of these other outside, I wouldn't call them consultants. They're either GMs, assistants, presidents. These guys are coming in from other organizations, and they're saying, this is where we're at right now, and here's how we're behind other teams in Major League Baseball that are having success, specifically from the player development standpoint.
Right.
I'm assuming from the way that the DeWitts and everybody has talked about this, they are committed to upgrading the facilities in Jupiter, figuring out how to upgrade the staffs in their minor league programs, their minor league development programs. I'm assuming they're on board with this. But if not, the retool is never going to get off the ground. Unless you find another Albert Pujols. You find another, you find a Juan Soto.
Right.
You find a generational talent.
You got to pay for those guys now.
You certainly do.
Yeah.
Unless that happens, you better have cohesion top to bottom.
I feel like, yes, ownership has to be, you have to be in sync with your GM, your POBO, your president of hockey operations, whatever the sport is, the person that is directly under you and making sure, and then that person has to be directly in sync with the head coach, with the manager. You all have to be on one string and one accord. And if you're not, you're going to have, an owner who is saying, nah, that's not it. Nope, we're not, the Madden rating is good. We're not doing that.
Right.
Or you have an owner that says, yeah, we need to move in this direction. And then the GM is like, nah, I don't think so. I think we need to be steadfast in our approach. First of all, the person that signs the checks makes the decisions. That's just how it goes. It usually does. Like if I'm signing this, I get to make the decisions, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah.
So if for the Jets situation, I know we're going to transition to the Cardinals, but for the Jets, if the owner didn't want them, ain't nothing you can do. Find another job.
Right.
Like this is how you run business. Okay, cool. I'm going to fill out get my resume updated and
but
go on LinkedIn and see what I can do.
These jobs in the NFL though, or even Major League Baseball. I mean, it's not like they're a dime a dozen.
And you got to be then you got to be miserable. And you got to go through it and deal with it, which I do not subscribe to.
That's the point.
I don't subscribe to that. Like I think mental health is way more important than a check. And no matter how big that check is, if you going crazy somewhere, you probably should get out of there.
Yeah.
But for the Cardinals, I think the ownership and the POBO and everyone is all in line right now. How I viewed it previously, I felt like Mozeliak had a plan, had an idea, and it felt like, and again, I don't work for the Cardinals. I don't talk to anyone extensively to have this information, but it felt like the DeWitt said, okay, you do what you feel is best. Go ahead. But this is how much we're spending. Don't go above this number.
Yeah, you're not going to have a blank check.
You don't have a blank check. This is what we're spending. You figure it out. Figure the rest of it out. And in some situations, in some instances, maybe Mo's hands were handcuffed. You were tied because you can't go above and beyond, and you have to go here, and you're trying to make it work. It seems to me like, okay, let's scratch that idea. We're going to start from the ground up. Like everything in sports, it starts from the ground up. So I think that's the way they're going now, and I do think that this is the best plan for them. And I've said this time and time again over the last couple months. I have to tip my cap to the DeWitts, to John Mozeliak for making the decision for Chaim Bloom to come in, and maybe he was part of that thing that kind of sparked this idea or this ideology. Whatever it is, whatever it took, it's finally being done. And I think you're going to get the best version of the Cardinals going forward for not next year, maybe not the year after, but in 3 to 5 years, you'll see, hopefully, a team with younger players that are more mature, that are fully developed, that are stars, all-stars, St. Louis stars, whatever you want to call them, right? And you're winning games and hopefully winning championships.
So we got a text from the 217. Isn't that the stuff they should be doing anyways without hurting the big league club?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's really nothing that I can say or Carey can say or Marsh can say that's going to to alleviate how you feel there. Because I have felt the same way. Yeah. Carey has felt the same way. We've said as much on these airwaves, like, how could you have let this happen? But it's kind of moot now. They fell behind years ago. They fell behind with the pitching labs and what they needed to be doing. The staff was who was it? Katie Wu that had the whole breakdown at the Athletic about how few and far between the staff was, how limited the staff number was when the minor leagues with this team compared to other organizations. They fell behind, and this is just my opinion. I wasn't there. I wasn't on the inside, but Carey felt like this was an organization that became awfully content. They felt content, and it's like, we know we've got. This is where I say the NL Central. The NL Central really helped this club out, where you didn't have a lot of teams. The Cincinnati and Pittsburgh every year not competing. Right. Chicago competing every once in a while when they feel like it. Milwaukee, no, you will never be blown away by Milwaukee's offseason. Smart, yes. Savvy, yes. They're never going to be the Phillies. So you had this like limited opportunity, where the other teams had this like limited window constantly to contend, and the Cardinals just kind of kept doing their thing, and it was fine for a while. But now they're being lapped, and they have to start over. But to the texters, right? Yes, they should have been doing this a while ago.
So for me, it's almost like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, that
Right.
seemed to be the approach for the Cardinals. It was working until it wasn't. Like, you got a car. Some people, you got a car. Every time you start it up in the winter, it goes. One of these days, it'll be the last day.
You stop checking the oil.
You stop.
Yeah, it's fine. The fire's up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it keeps you like, and it starts. You're like, oh, well, we're good to go. Eventually,
Right. Yep.
you're going to turn it over and it ain't going to start.
Tires are balding. Like
It's time. And so I think the Cardinals ran into that portion of the life of what they were doing. Like, we're doing this. It's working. No, we haven't won a championship in a while, but this has been the motto. This has been the recipe for success. Get into the playoffs. Anything can happen. Right? Just get in. And then you get in 22 and you don't score enough runs because you gotta score runs to win games.
Yep.
You don't score enough. You lose. You lose the series. And then you have a woeful year in 23. You're like, oh, my goodness, what is this?
Well, Yachty left. Waino retired. No, those two guys retired.
Waino was still here in 23.
Yachty retired.
That's that. Waino was here.
Waino was here.
Yeah.
And you replaced him with Wilson Contreras, and you're like, well, we're good.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
No, we're not.
No, you're not good at all.
And then you did that. So Waino leaves, and now you say, oh, yeah, we got Sonny Gray. We'll bring in Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, and we need veteran leadership. So Matt Carpenter, you come take a roster spot. Brandon Crawford, you come take a roster spot. Mm-hmm. But what do you – and this is, again, no knock to any of those guys because – they are professional players. They earned their way and earned their paycheck and earned the right to be on the roster and do all of the things that they needed to do. But when you're looking at the team, what value do you add other than off the field value, right? I don't think that that's too harsh to say.
No.
Off the field, it does matter. In the clubhouse, it does matter.
When you have everything else.
Yeah, there you go.
Kerry, to use your car analogy, you can't just put a new air freshener in and say...
it smells good, Anthony.
The air freshener took you back to your high school days and you felt good about it.
Nostalgic.
The engine's shot.
Ah, what?
The air freshener's not going to cover it up.
It's not going to get it to go?
Nope.
Not to get it to run?
Nope.
Oh,
all right, we're going to dive into the P.O. Joseph trade with our guy Jamie Rivers, who will join us next via the phone. He's in Tampa, so we'll get him on the line. We'll talk about the P.O. Joseph trade next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Are you looking for the perfect Christmas gift for that loved one or that family member that will last a lifetime? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. It's called Sound Story. Sound Story is an hour-long interview with a loved one, whether it be your mom, your dad, maybe your grandma, your grandpa, and they get to tell the story of their life, and they get to tell the story of maybe where they went to high school, maybe college experience, maybe they played sports going through high school and college, maybe they're in the military. Everybody has great stories that they want to share with family that will last forever. And that's why Sound Story is the place for that. And if you go to mysoundstory.com, you punch in the promo code ESPN, you get a 10% off discount from a Sound Story gift card. And not only is it digitally recorded, that now in 2024, they've got video. So now you can record the video as well as the audio over there at soundstory.com. And all you got to do, remember now, don't forget to punch in the promo code, which is ESPN at mysoundstory.com. For you, for them, forever.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. You'll hear Chris Kerber on the call tonight in Tampa. You'll hear him on this show at 3:15, so stay tuned for that interview. Jamie Rivers, our pal Jamie, is going to join us from Tampa Bay and discuss the P.O. Joseph trade. He was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins for future consideration, so we'll dive into that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Blues and the Lightning play tonight. Pregame, 5 o'clock right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. We will talk to Chris Kerber next hour, but we got our guy Jamie Rivers via the Thompson and Collier phone lines right now. Jamie, you got us?
Yeah, how you doing, boys?
We're doing great. So can you walk us through the P.O. Joseph trade? So that just happened last night. Is there more to this? How should we view this P.O. Joseph trade? Is Nick Leddy coming back soon? What can you tell us?
Well, the Nick Leddy thing, I don't know. I don't think that Nick Leddy coming back has anything to do with the P.O. Joseph trade. I think ultimately what happened, and I don't know this for sure, Doug Armstrong would have to answer this question, but my opinion is that with the acquisition of Cam Fowler, and then once Nick Leddy does come back, it's a crowded dance floor on the defensive side of things, and I think that the Blues looked at, for lack of better words, they looked at P.O. Joseph versus Scott Perunovich. And, which player has more upside? Which player do they think helps the team? Which player do they think they can live without? All these things. And I think they just decided that Scott Perunovich possesses better qualities or more qualities than P.O. Joseph. And so they moved on from P.O. Joseph so that, when Letty comes back, they can add him in. And at the same time, they went and called up Tyler Tucker. Everybody kind of forgot about Tyler Tucker during this whole scramble of defensemen in and out of the lineup and things like that. But I know this, for the last 3 weeks or so, maybe even longer, he's been playing incredible down in Springfield. Really playing good, playing hard, playing tough. And Montgomery, Jimmy, this morning said that he needs a little more nasty in his lineup. And Tyler Tucker fits that bill. I mean, I saw him this morning in the hotel lobby as he's checking in. He turns around. He's got a big old black eye. So I'm like, all right, good. Looks like he's ready to roll.
Yes. That's my kind of guy.
Yeah. He is. Trust me. He's a big old farm boy. And you know what? And sometimes, for, again, wording, lack of better words, but getting your nose rubbed in it a little bit, if you're Tyler Tucker, going back down to ride the buses and things like that, sometimes that creates a whole new hunger when you get back to the big leagues. So I'm anxious to see him play whenever that might be.
Jamie, the Blues obviously took a tough loss against the Devils, not the outcome that they wanted. What are some of the things you'd like to see for tonight's game against the Lightning?
Well, you don't want to get into a track meet with these guys. Like, I thought the other night, although they lost that game to the New Jersey Devils, I thought the Blues did a great job of checking. The Devils really didn't get a whole lot of grade A opportunities out there. If you look at some of the goals, like the one goal is like a CAI goal. Binnington didn't see the shot from the point. There's 4 guys in front. The other one off the boards, that guy takes a slap shot, kind of a hope and a prayer shot. It goes in. So tonight, same philosophy. Like the Lightning is full of skilled guys that can move the puck. They skate. They can make you look really bad quickly if you open up and give them a lot of ice to maneuver in. So for me, the number one thing is to be above the puck all night long if you're the Blues. And all that means is above the puck is a fancy term for stay between the puck and the net. That's it. Make sure you got guys on the defensive side, and when you get your opportunity to go score, you're going to have to capitalize. And it's not that easy because they've got big old Vasilevsky in net for them, who's one of the best goaltenders of the last decade here in the NHL. But you beat them before, and you got to make sure when you get your opportunities, you make them count.
Jamie Rivers joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Going back to the P.O. Joseph trade, Jamie, we've now seen a couple of deals done over the last week, and I know that you're not sitting there with Doug Armstrong, anticipating another move that's coming. But what do you get a sense that Doug Armstrong isn't finished when it comes to tinkering with this roster?
I don't know. I think he's. Look, the elephant in the room is the Brandon Saad thing, right? Like,
right.
Rumors all over the place that he might be traded. I don't know if that's necessarily inevitable. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. It's always one or two good games can change a lot of things in this league. So we'll see how that kind of works itself out. And after that, I just don't see Doug tinkering anymore. I think that if the team is right there in a spot to have a good playoff run or to get into the playoffs and come deadline time, I think you'll see Doug make some moves at the deadline because he'd like to see this team get in. But to me, I think that would be the only time.
Jamie, what have you seen from – I know Dylan Holloway's been playing. He's one of your favorite players. Have you seen him continue to do wonderful things, and what is he looking like for tonight? We're going to get a goal. I need a pick. I need you to give me some insight.
Yeah, look, Dylan Holloway, he hasn't had a goal in a few games. He's been a little dry on the score sheet, but, he still had a breakaway last game. He still has a couple shots. He's still getting those opportunities. And I think tonight, kind of a game that plays to his strengths, where it's a lot of speed and skill out there. So I like him. If you're going to take him as your pick today, Kerry, I don't think you can go wrong with that.
All right. I got one more thing. We talked about P.O. Joseph being traded. Did you get a chance to talk to his brother? How is that? How does he feel about it? I know it's business, and we understand we're all professionals, but you get an opportunity to play with your brother, and now you no longer are able to. Have you had a chance to speak with him about it?
Yeah, we talked to him this morning about it, and it's tough. It's kind of a little sad, because he's like my best friend, my roommate, and all this stuff. We were so excited to play on the same team, and but then he followed it up with, well, that's the business. It is what it is, and at least he's going back to a team that he knows a lot of the guys there. There's going to be a certain comfort level there. I think that he believes he'll play more on a regular basis in Pittsburgh. So his brother Matthew was happy about that, wanting to see him in the lineup on a regular basis and being a bigger part of the team. But overall, he said it was tough. They were, welcome to the business, right? You're sitting at dinner last night, which was what they were doing, and at a nice little place down here in Tampa, and the phone rings, and he's traded while they're at dinner. So it's the game. Professional sports overall can feel somewhat heartless at times, which is why we say it's a business, because there is no right time. What's the right time? Okay, the next morning at breakfast you call them. When you get to the rink, it's never a great time to get that phone call that you're traded. But yeah, had to be pretty tough for those guys to be at dinner last night and then have to kind of deal with all that.
It does stink, but Jamie, as you know, it's part of the business of it all. So while it's unfortunate, I'm sure those guys get it too. Jamie, I know you're going to hang on. You're going to give us your 52 keys to victory tonight for the Lightning, and we'll play Light the Lamp. Sound good?
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Sounds good. All right. Jamie will hang with us, and we'll talk a little Blues hockey next with him. Get ready for the Blues and Lightning matchup. And again, Jamie will give us some keys to victory next on 101 ESPN.
Nobody does happy hour like my friends over at Twin Peaks. They've always got great specials going on over there, whether it's some appetizers or a certain dish that day. They're going to make that available for you. They also have some of the custom cocktails that they'll mix up and on a daily basis. They'll change that around. But they always have a bar that's full of great bourbons. They've got the flavored vodkas. And, of course, they've got the 29-degree man-sized draft. Comes in a nice frosty mug, little ice chips in there, so good. They're going to have the sporting events on, whether it's the Blues game or if there's a basketball game or a bowl game that you're looking to watch. Just tell the staff. The staff is super friendly, unbelievably helpful, and they're also going to go over the menu with you because Twin Peaks is always changing things on the menu. They're adding new, unbelievable things. I've said it before. Get in there, try the quesadilla tacos. You will thank me for it when you see me. Again, that's my friends over at Twin Peaks, and they're operating every day over there with a great happy hour, great menu, and a great staff. Again, that's Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Tonight at 5 o'clock, the Blues and Lightning pregame show airs right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN on the Blues Radio Network. Joining us for our second segment via the Thompson and Collier phone line is our guy Jamie Rivers, who's in Tampa right now. All right, Jamie, what are some keys to victory tonight for the Blues?
Well, I already dropped one on you guys, which is play a real tight checking game. So we'll just drop that one back in the bucket again. I think that for the Blues, you got to defend the middle of the ice extremely well. The Lightning have really talented players, and a lot of times those really talented players don't necessarily like to have a lot of obstruction through the middle of the ice. So to keep them to the outside certainly increases your chances of keeping them off the scoreboard. Another way to keep them off the scoreboard is don't let them get out there on the power play. So be disciplined. Don't take any dumb penalties out there. These guys have a great power play, and they'll hurt you quickly with that. On the other end of things, play physical on this offenseman. Get in there, get some puck turnovers. You got to make sure you get pucks to the net, like through, too, because they've got a lot of defenders that will block shots, get in the way. So you got to find the shot lane, get the puck off quickly, and get bodies to the front of the net. Those are my keys to the game.
All right, there you have it. Let's light the lamp then.
And a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shooter! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, so Marsh, you got yourself on the board again.
I did, thanks to Jordan Kyrou. 8 points now for myself.
Wow, Marshy.
Jamie,
Marshy. Nice job, kid.
Thank you. Jamie has 7 points.
Way to go, Jamie.
Thank you.
Carey has 5.
Nice job, Carey.
And Anthony, you have 3.
Good job, Anthony.
Horrible work.
No.
Oh, yeah. Where is he? Dead last? No, yeah, he's having a good contest. Yeah. All right, Marshy. Go for it.
I feel real inclined to pick Matthew Joseph tonight.
Ooh.
For
But you won't.
obvious reasons. For obvious reasons, Anthony. But I'm going to go with Jordan Kyrou.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
All right, Jordan Kyrou off the board. Jamie.
You know, I think I'm going to go with Dylan Holloway.
I knew by the pause and the hesitation in your voice. That's exactly what you were going to do. Right. Yeah.
Love you, Kerry.
Yep, I expected such a thing. Give me Zach Bolduc.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're going Bolduc, huh?
Yeah.
Man, this is tough. This is tough. You know what? Give me Nikita Kucherov.
Nah.
Doesn't work like that.
You got to play for the Blues. Not Matt.
Braden Point.
No.
Braden
Shin. Not either, Anthony.
Braden Shin.
Oh, Anthony Cirelli.
Nah. Again, got to have a blue note
Nicholas
on his
Paul.
jersey. Nah, you're trending in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Come back this way.
Jake Neighbors.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. I'll take Jake Neighbors. Hey, Jamie, while we got you for a couple more minutes, we didn't have an opportunity to talk to you about Nolan Arenado nixing his deal to go to Houston. What are your thoughts, man?
I don't know what's going on. I have a feeling like that Nolan Arenado is just not going to be easy to deal with when it comes to this. I just do. I had that feeling from the beginning. Like when Arenado basically alluded to the fact, like, I don't really want to be traded. So therefore, he's not really going to make it easy for the Cardinals. Houston, I thought, was a great destination. Paul Goldschmidt might even find himself back in Houston where he's from. Mm-hmm. And they could kind of reunite and do their thing. So I thought, okay, maybe that's a selling point for him. And no, I think Nolan Arenado is like just dead set on like the Dodgers. He wants to be a Dodger until the Dodgers tell him basically, no, we don't want you. And they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Saying he's got a chance.
Now, Carey, you wanted to revisit this, because of maybe some angst that's coming from the text line.
Well,
not from everybody.
Well, I wanted to revisit it because here's the thing. when you have an opportunity to prevent yourself from being traded, you can avoid a situation like what P.O. Joseph had to just deal with last night. You're at dinner with your family, with your brother, and now you no longer are on the same team with your brother. Right? It's bigger than just the sports part of it. P.O. Joseph and Matthew Joseph, their parents didn't have to decide which game they were going to go to. They didn't have to decide who we're going to, go see today. Hey, we go see both of our boys, huh? We love our guys. We can go watch both of them play on the same team. Now you can't, because it's not about just the sport. And if Nolan Arenado wanted to say, I don't want to go anywhere, it could be because his family is settled. He's comfortable. His family enjoys it here. Right? It's not like I know people would laugh when I would say, hey, I got to go to work tomorrow. You don't work, you play football. Nah, I got a job. I got to be there at 6 a.m. I'm not going to get home until about 6 p.m. That's a job. Now, I'll practice and I'll go in, but I'll be in meetings probably 70% of the time. It's a job. So it's not just you are a pro baseball player. You go and should be happy that someone. No, I earned the right to have a contract that allows me to decide where I get to play baseball, and I'm making my decision. So I think I'm fine with it.
Yeah. What?
That was Jamie.
Oh, what? I thought you said in general. Jamie.
That's what I thought he said too.
Jamie, do you have a bet the board pick for your guy Zoosh?
Oh, yeah. Let me give me 2 seconds here, Anthony.
You can text it to us.
For you. Yeah, I'll just text it to you.
All right. What do you think of the Penguins? What do you think about the Penguins as an underdog in Nashville?
I don't know. They're not doing too good either.
Pittsburgh?
Why, is that what you want? Is that what you're wanting to play? That one?
No, I see a lot of heavy favorites tonight in the NHL. So I just wanted to spark a conversation. The Penguins are an underdog in Nashville. Seattle is -150 in Chicago. Ottawa is -135 in Calgary. So just throwing out some suggestions for you. That's all.
I'd take his advice. Pretty good pick yesterday, Jamie, picking the Panthers and Wild over 5.5.
Oh, yeah. Is that what I picked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you cashed.
I did too. Didn't realize it.
Nice.
Did you just see that Utah beat Vancouver?
You saw me.
Yeah, I was the only one that lost.
You were up.
I'm going to go with the Kraken, boys.
The Kraken over Chicago?
Kraken. Yeah, they got a new player there, Capo Caco, and let's see how he goes. He's going to want to stick it where the sun don't shine for the Rangers.
Oh, Capo Caco?
Capo Caco's going to shove it?
Yeah, he sure is, Anthony. Well said.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Jamie, have a great call tonight.
Yes. All right, thanks, boys. Have a good one.
See ya. You too. All right, Jamie Rivers here in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh has got what's trending for us next.
If you like sports betting, then please download Circus Sports Illinois, the app. Listen, they have great lines out there. They got great lines for future bets as well. They've got the tight money line splits, and you're getting the best odds out of any app. And there's no promos that are necessary because the promo is in the price and in the payouts that you receive. Look, my buddy Derek Stevens, who owns and runs the Circa Las Vegas Casino, his dream was to create the world's largest sportsbook. He did that in Las Vegas. Now the world's largest sportsbook is in the palm of your hand so that every single day you can get on there using this app with the best odds, get your player props, get your parlays, do all the things that you need to do, and there's no betting limits either, which is amazing for you. So please don't miss out on the action. Download and bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all of the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
What's trending now in the world of sports?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
What's trending now is brought to you by Goodwill, creating opportunities and changing lives. Together, building a brighter future. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I want to talk about Nolan Arenado. He seems to be the topic of discussion around these parts.
Why? What's going on?
Well, Carey, I don't know if you know this, but he nixed a deal that would have traded him to the Houston Astros. That came out yesterday, actually.
What?
We talked about it. I don't know if you remember.
I don't.
I know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of things happening in the world.
A lot of stuff.
News.
You know, Woody Johnson's been dominating. He's been dominating the headlines.
Madden ratings matter. You better believe they do. I was furious about mine.
What was yours?
It's like 78. What the hell are you doing? 78.
That's tough.
That is.
That's a tough one.
It's like a C.
Well, did you remember some of the other, like, the awareness and speed and agility and all that?
I don't remember. I don't remember that.
You just saw the overall rating.
Yeah, and I was.
You were upset.
I was disappointed. Yep. I might go play that game at some point. Continue. I'm sorry.
I feel like you're still beat up about it.
A little bit.
A little bit?
Nah.
Sorry, Carey.
Nah.
No. I was waiting for that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
So we were talking about Nolan Arenado with Jamie, and he mentioned that until the Dodgers tell him to his face that he will not be a Dodger, that he's still holding out hope. And so John Denton, who joined BK and Ferrario with Alex, T-Bone, and Bradford Bruns today, he was on the show talking about this very situation. So let's take a listen to that, and then we shall discuss.
They know that Nolan would like to be there, that's his first choice. He grew up in Orange County. He grew up a fan of the Dodgers. I know a lot of people in St. Louis have always thought that he wanted to be there, that sort of thing. Nolan committed everything to St. Louis. He's given it his all in St. Louis. But, if this thing does go where he goes somewhere else, I still think the Dodgers are at the top of his list. Like, Nolan's going to hold out until the Dodgers tell him no to his face. He's not going to take a deal to Houston right now. He's not going to take a deal to Philly until he is told to his face by the Dodgers that, no, we don't want you. And, I just don't believe that's to be the case. I think the Dodgers still have a tremendous interest in having Nolan Arenado. Yes, his power numbers have gone down the last 2 years, but he played a really good third base this last season.
So when I hear that, we've been talking about maybe Alex Bregman being that piece that needs to, that domino that needs to fall in order for this whole Nolan Arenado saga to continue forward. Mm-hmm. But now I'm starting to think this is all on the Dodgers. This is the Dodgers' decision. So now they have all the cards in their hand, and they are dictating essentially whether or not Nolan Arenado is going to be moved, because it seems like his first option is Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And with that, I want to ask you guys this question. If you're an athlete, would you rather be the solution for the team or be essentially another Kevin Durant?
What do you mean?
Either way, you're
wildly. You're good to go, right? No.
I'll phrase it this way. I always get upset's too strong a word. I'm always irritated when a player, like Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers. Mm-hmm. John Elway didn't want to go to the Colts. And I realized it worked out great for both guys. So good on them. But I always get irritated when I hear I don't want to go there.
Why?
Because the competitor in me wants to be the solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay.
All these guys, all these guys couldn't get it done in Cleveland. I always liked Baker Mayfield's thought of
that championship that the Browns won was amazing.
I know.
Whew, I mean, with the way they celebrated by Lake Erie.
Carey, you and I are brothers from another mother. We've established this. I would think that you would appreciate my stubbornness right now.
No, because I love you. I want you to be better. I don't want you to go to Cleveland.
But I can be the one.
You can't.
To change the mistake by the lake.
No one can fix that. No one can fix what's going on with the Jets.
I can.
You can't. And you need people around you to tell you the truth. It ain't you. It's not you. I don't want you to ever think it's you.
But
because it's not you.
Think about
it's me.
Think about all the happiness I could bring to
Think
New
about
York
all the sadness you're going to have come week 10 when you're 1-8 going into that game, trying to figure out what you're going to do this offseason.
I could be a hero to those people.
You can't.
I need a hero.
No.
Oh.
I'm holding up a hero
tonight. I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I don't know what the name of the group is.
Is it a group?
I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I want to be the competitor in me wants to be the solution. I don't want to just join a stacked team. You
don't want to win?
Like you're just
win
a
championships?
Guy. You're just someone that was here.
I don't agree with that because everybody has a role. Everybody plays a vital part in a championship team to some degree. Some people's part is greater, much greater, and some people's part is not as great. But it doesn't mean that their part is not required or needed to be a champion.
There's some players that are utility players that end up being MVP of the World Series, and there's some guys that just give motivational speeches during a rain delay.
Very true.
And your ring still looks the same.
That you guys are bringing up a very good point. A very good point.
Just saying.
I think for Nolan Arenado, the Dodgers would be a perfect fit for him. I think he's baseball 24/7. I think he's somebody that pours himself into baseball, pours himself into his defense, his offense. He's very intense. I also think you can't ask somebody to be somebody that they're not. I was reading the comments on one of the articles that was posted about Arenado, and some people are like, well, if he's going to stay here in St. Louis, he needs to be a stronger leader. You can want that, but some guys they're just not born to be a leader.
True.
I think Arenado is an excellent baseball player. He cares. He's intense. But that doesn't mean that he's somebody that's going to galvanize a clubhouse, which is completely fine. It's not a knock on him. But if he were to go to the Dodgers and he could just do his thing and you don't have to worry about galvanizing people, he just play.
I just feel like it feels gross.
What? But but this is where we're at. So you would want to be the solution too, with me.
I wouldn't want to be the solution,
in Cleveland.
And I'm not even talking about powerhouse teams either, compared to teams that will never see the light of day, like Cleveland in whatever sport, other than the Guardians. The Guardians.
The difference, though.
I'm talking about if he wanted to go to a Phillies team who's right on the cusp, right? They got good players, but they need something different, right? They're right there, but they haven't gotten over the hump. To me, you're still going to a really good team, but you're still a part of the solution, rather than going to a team who has 9 all-stars in their lineup from head to toe.
I hear you.
It's just they don't. Do they even need you?
You know what you guys sound like to me? It sounds like you all would have went to stayed at Northwestern instead of going to Michigan as well. Good for you. Yep. Be the change. I knew. That's what it was. Be the change. You be the solution. That's what you're saying. We are all like-minded. You would have stayed away from Michigan, and you would have stayed away from Michigan.
Oh, Carey,
as did I.
Well, I don't like Michigan.
Carey, I would have definitely called them at the very least.
You'd have did what I did. You'd have been the solution elsewhere. You wouldn't have went to Michigan, nor would you. I'm proud of you all.
I definitely would have went to Michigan if they were interested in me.
What you're telling me is,
I would have done.
You'd have been the solution.
I would have told other schools at Michigan, "Hey, Michigan's got me."
Wait,
Michigan got you? I mean,
why would you do that?
Let me say it for the record.
You want to be the solution.
Let me say it for the record.
You don't want to go to a loaded team, nor did I. I get it.
Was Michigan good?
They were always good. They had just won the national championship for a couple years earlier.
98.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there either.
See?
Great move, Carey.
Yeah.
Great move.
See?
Look where it landed you.
Look right here, and that's why we're all here. We're all like-minded in that. I love it. Now I see. You were right. I was wrong. I've done it. So, yeah.
Let me say for the record that I would have happily played second base for the Michigan Wolverines had they been interested. Yeah.
You'd have just been a guy on the roster, huh? When you could have been the solution elsewhere. I knew it. I knew I liked you guys. You guys like Marshy?
I don't know what happened there, but
The situation's a little different, Kerry. And this gentleman who declined Michigan was coming out of high school. The situation we're talking about is a guy who's won 10 Gold Gloves and has already asked to leave somewhere else before. And it's just he wanted out.
He's been the solution elsewhere. Now he wants to be just one of the guys.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, let's talk to Chris Kerber. We'll ask him about the P.O. Joseph trade and preview tonight's Blues and Lightning game with the play-by-play man. Next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, Classic Air Care, folks. So want you to make sure that you know this, that the electric company rebates at the end of the year are coming to a close. That's right. So you want to let Classic Air Care leverage those rebates for you now before they're gone. And with the increase in pricing coming soon due to government regulations, now's the time to get a new system if your HVAC system is on its last leg. So not only do you get a great deal, not only do you get great service, but you get electric company rebates that they will leverage for you, so you're getting the new unit at the best possible price. How about this review from Andrea Brandt? Vince was the best, very kind and knowledgeable and super helpful. So grateful he volunteered to work this Sunday. Truly a blessing. Thank you so much, Vince, as I sincerely appreciate all your help and assistance. And she added a lot more to her review, and you can see all the reviews at ClassicAirCare.com. But did you notice she said, working on a Sunday. That's right. They've got a 24/7 hotline. They can get people to you on the weekends if it's needed. They should be the company to help you at your house. It's Classic Air Care. Book an appointment online or give them a call. Check out the website at classicaircare.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Super Bowl champion Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Blues are playing in Tampa tonight against the Lightning. Pregame right here on 101 ESPN at 5 o'clock. And one of the voices that you will hear in the pregame, and of course on the call, right here on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN, is our guy Chris Kerber, who joins us via the Thompson and Collier phone line. Kerbs, how are you?
Anthony, doing well today. How are you?
We're doing really good. We're looking forward to tonight's game against the Lightning. P.O. Joseph was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's back with Pittsburgh. Future considerations will be coming back eventually for the Blues. So your overall thoughts, like what's the impact here for the Blues trading P.O. Joseph?
Well, first off, future considerations I don't think has any meaning like it used to. So, like the Blues had a couple of deals, the Reddick-Foxa deal, one of them. Actually, the Matthew Joseph deal was another one about future considerations. And basically what that is in the salary cap area, that means you take on the whole guy's salary so I don't have to retain any and we're good.
Gotcha.
So so I think that's what's going to happen there. At least that's the way it was described to me earlier this year when I asked, like, when do we ever call back and say, so do you remember that deal? Like, you want to work on something? So there is that. And then, so there's the first one. You know what? This one surprised me a little bit. I haven't had a chance to talk with anybody in management on it just yet. And the reason it surprised me was you had a tall defenseman, I think a very serviceable and solid defenseman. He was a left-handed shot, but he could skate, and he had term. He was a UFA at the end a restricted free agent at the end of this year. So he controlled his rights, and he's 25 years of age. I think the deal with Cam Fowler adjusted the way they needed to look at things defensively a little bit. And in that sense, they looked at it and they say, okay, if everybody's healthy, and I do believe they think they're going to get Nick Leddy back here at some point. I'm looking at Parayko and Fowler. I'm looking at Broberg and Falk. I'm looking at Leddy and Suter. And I still have Perunovich. I have Kessel, and I have Tucker. And they've recalled Tyler Tucker now. And so you look at that, there's a logjam. You had too many guys that would need to clear waivers at this level. The Pittsburgh Penguins played ball with the St. Louis Blues by trading them back their second-round pick that they had already traded them, and that's how the St. Louis Blues were able to complete those offer sheets. So I think there's probably a little thank you note, I guess, in this deal too. And Pittsburgh, who's gone on a bit of a run and stayed in the picture, could use a defenseman. So I guess it makes sense for both sides. And in the end, I think it's probably a really good thing for P.O. Joseph because, again, if totally healthy, I don't know how you play any one of the younger guys over one of those veteran guys. And this ensures that P.O. Joseph's going to be playing a lot more hockey.
Curbs, it looks like Dylan Holloway is going back to center tonight. Where do you think he's best suited at? Is he able to play that position and have success at it?
I don't know. I like him better on the wing. And the problem, Kerry, that the Blues have right now is they're just not as deep as they want to be up the middle. Oscar Sundqvist wins about 40% of his faceoffs. I think they're in a stretch right here where they'd like to see a little bit more out of him. But, guys, he's coming back off an ACL tear. And he did so pretty quickly, and I don't care the sport. You know that these things take a while. So resting Oscar Sundqvist in these games of back-to-backs, I think, is important. They just did it last week, and I think they're doing it again. So it wouldn't shock me if you see, Oscar right back in there tomorrow night when they play the Florida Panthers here. That's a lot of wear and tear, and I think this is managing the player. Holloway's proven that he could be very effective in both spots. I think he is much more comfortable. I think he's much better on the wing. But here's the one thing, because he's so fast, Kerry, and because he's been, like, his forecheck has been so conscientious about how he's doing it. If when you watch a shift on a given basis, like even when Nathan Walker was on the wing with Foxa at center, a lot of times it was Nathan Walker being the first player back up the ice because he's faster than Foxa. Mm-hmm. And when you're in the flow like that, that first player getting back into your own end pretty much just assumes the role of center and how you defend in the zone at that point in time until you sort it out. So in some ways, he's almost played like a center because he can be the first one back at times. But I think this is just a necessity. They don't really have anyone else. You've got Foxa out of the lineup. I think you could easily see Foxa in that spot had he been there, and then they keep Holloway on the wing and put Walker at center on the fourth line. But with Foxa out, this is the one that makes the most sense. Because now here's the one thing. I mean, listen, sometimes you got to look at stuff, guys, in a wild way. The Blues came in with the intent of trying Pavel Buchnevich as a centerman, right? And that's what Drew Bannister's marching orders were, right? Got to figure this out. So he kept trying. Jim Montgomery got here, and last week somebody said, "What is he?" And Jim Montgomery looked and said, "Pavel Buchnevich is a winger," right? And so, right, so they're sorting the center spot out a little bit differently there. But I do think that these back-to-backs, it's more about resting and just not overtaxing Oscar Sundqvist at this point.
Chris Kerber joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerbs, we've seen, whether it was the Dallas game where Binnington stole you a point or against New Jersey, look, there's while the team looks significantly better under Jim Montgomery, there still seems there's a gap there between where they are right now and the upper echelon of the NHL. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because this is still a team that is finding its way under Jim Montgomery. But when you're watching these games and you're also watching other teams, what is the thing that will narrow the gap quickest when it comes to the Blues and a team like the Devils?
Everybody playing the same way.
Okay.
I mean, and I know that sounds oversimplified. And you're going, oh, wait a minute. You don't want your high-end, your higher-skilled guys like a Jordan Kyrou playing the same way as Alexei Toropchenko. Yeah, you do. The difference is when Alexei Toropchenko, or if one of those other players gets in there and wins the puck like Alexei Toropchenko can do, those skilled players can do more. I hate saying those skilled players. Those guys tend to do more with it and are more creative with it than Alexei Toropchenko's role, right? So to me, that's what it comes down to. I'm watching Braden Shen. In that last game, I'm watching Braden Shen run around and throw some checks. You see in the way he and Jake Neighbors are kind of fighting for each other out there. And honestly, I think there needs to be more from the top-end guys for the St. Louis Blues. I think their top-end defensemen have to be much more active and more productive, even on the offensive side of things. And I think your top – and look, like Robert Thomas is picking up a good amount of points. Jordan Kyrou is too. But it's too many one-and-dones for those lines. They're getting the puck, then they're losing the puck, and they're not retrieving it. If they're shooting it, they're either not getting a rebound or they're not able to get the puck back in. And whether it be what Ken Hitchcock did with the David Backes team moving them forward, what Berube switched into with the O'Reilly group, and what Montgomery now has to do with the Thomas group, is they've got to get to that relentless style where, like, whether it be a Kaprizov, you see Hughes do it, you see these young players, and when they're losing the puck, they're getting it right back. You know, I mean, the youngster Celebrini in San Jose, huge on this. And when I'm watching him do it, I'm thinking, no, there's no reason then veteran players of 5 years in the league can't figure that out. But that's the style of play. And to me, in talking to Ken Hitchcock, Anthony, he calls it hockey habits. Mm-hmm. And then you got to trust the work. And right now, Jim Montgomery is in the process of building those hockey habits. You've got to get them before you trust the work, and that's where I see the gap right now for this hockey team.
All right, Curbs, I want to shift gears because I know you are a huge New York Giants fan. Now, it hadn't been great. It's been a rough season. We understand it, but it's not completely the worst thing that could happen because you all are in line for the number one pick, and I'm assuming that's a quarterback. Who do you want them to get, or is there someone in your mind that you need the New York Giants to pick up, and that'll just make you feel so much better going into 2025?
Listen, it's absolutely a shame that the campaign slogan for the New York Giants is "We want to and we stink like," well, whatever you want to make it up. And to be honest with you, I haven't followed the prospects enough to be able to answer that question. But I will say this. What possibly, with the recent struggles that they have and how things have gone, what possibly makes you think that this group of executives are the ones that should be making the pick on the first overall pick?
Yeah.
Right? Let's take some NHL teams as an example. Take another one. Take any team you want. If you've had 4 or 5 drafts of picking pretty high to turn your franchise around and haven't been able to do it to win more than 2 games, what makes you think that group should be the group picking first overall? Absolutely nothing to me gives confidence in that. And guys, I don't even Daniel Jones isn't a bad quarterback. I mean, there's just never been enough around, and I actually think this is the case for a lot of. When you're an NFL team that's that bad and you draft a quarterback, you had better find a way to put players around them quicker, or eventually you're going to go, gee, did we draft the right guy? And how many times do you see an NFL team draft a young Trevor Lawrence could be a great example, right? And you're going, what's he got? Well, he's got nothing around him for a while, and then you wonder whether or not you got the guy, and then the guy's confidence is shot. I have no problem taking a quarterback first overall and then, frankly, letting him play as a backup for the next 2 years. Now, the salary cap situation is almost what's forcing a lot of these teams' hand. That's a lot of money for a first overall pick to put him on the bench, right? But how come in almost all of these other sports there's some kind of growth process into the game, and yet we take the most important position in the National Football League and we go, here, go do it, and we expect you to be a stud right off the bat. Take a guy, let him develop, but for the love of God, make sure you got something around him. But, Kerry, I got no faith that they're going to pick the right guy no matter what.
I'm sure. I know I was going to bring up, I didn't want to do it, but now because you mentioned it, I know you feel that way because they let Saquon Barkley leave. And that turns out to be one of the worst decisions I've seen in a long time.
There's another one. If you draft a guy, you bring him up, you develop him, you put all that into him, and now you're nervous about signing him to a kind of deal because he's a running back. And I get it. The life of a running back is a lot less than what it used to be. But let's see, veteran guy, offensive threat. Can he be a difference maker for you? Can he help bring people along? Can he show guys how to find their way in the NHL? Yeah, he could do all that. Why the hell wouldn't you want something like that around your team?
I agree.
Good point. You got us. I like your thought, though. It's like the same people that have been mucking this up over the last couple of years are going to be in charge of the pick in April to probably muck it up again, even if they have the number one.
Here's the thing: they may get the pick right, but that pick may end up being right for another team because you're going to end up moving them because you don't have enough other stuff around them to protect them and to get it going. Look at what the New York. Okay, the Giants. Okay, and I get it. It wasn't a year and a half. It wasn't 2 years, right? But when they end up getting Eli Manning didn't just take the field and start. Who was the quarterback when Eli Manning came in?
Kurt Warner.
Yep.
Kurt Warner. And Kurt Warner had a winning record with the Giants when they still decided to make the switch. But you don't think Eli Manning had learned something for Kurt Warner even a little bit of time?
Sure.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually probably a player personnel issue across the NFL, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, you're not
look, as good as Patrick Mahomes is, right? If you put Patrick Mahomes, say, on the Jacksonville Jaguars, are they a great team?
Great? No, absolutely not. No. And Andy Reid has a lot to do with that, too.
But are they better? Yes. Do they become a playoff team? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm with you. All right.
Yeah.
Kerbs, have a great call tonight, and we will check back with you again next week. Have a good rest of your week.
All right, guys. Kerry, thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
No problem. I know. I understand, brother.
All right, see you guys.
See you, Curbs. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget Blues Lightning pregame starting at 5 o'clock right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. We'll do a Stalter / Fastlane stack up next on 101 ESPN. I wanted to call my guy Stewie today because with the holidays right around the corner, if you need some cash out for the holidays, well, Stewie, I know that people can call you, right?
That's right, Anthony, but here's a great ESPN story. 3.5 weeks ago, a customer comes to my desk and says, hey, I got a problem. My credit score is 680. I got about $50,000 worth of debts. I'm choking. The holidays are coming up. What am I going to do? I'm out of cash. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. It's just too much. What can I do? Came in. We consolidated his debt. He's saving, and I'm not kidding, $863 a month on his overall payments. Wow. It's going to put him in a better position so when the rates do go down, he can refinance and get an even better deal because his credit score is going to go up. He's so thankful, got the money he needs. The holidays are going to be great. Can't imagine how good things are going to be for him. But he took the first step after procrastinating for 6 months. And before it got worse, he made it happen with us, and we got it done in less than 3 weeks.
Imagine the relief that person feels. And if you're in a similar spot, just pick up the phone. Call my guy Stewie, 314-324-4440. You can also Google the bagel loan if you need to find that number. But don't sit there and constantly stress out about things that Stewie can help you with, especially when it comes to money manners, debt consolidation, getting that dream home that you don't think you can because of the loan process. Stewie makes all that easy. Again, Google the bagel loan, pick up that phone, call him today. He can help you out. Stewie, appreciate you. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
NMLS number 226715.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. An early pregame, early puck drop for you. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. Of course, you can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. We just talked with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview or if you missed anything from today's show, including our conversation about Nolan Arenado and how he nixed a deal that would have sent him to the Houston Astros. Yesterday, we talked about that. If you miss anything from that show or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com and check out the just check out the podcast page. You can also check it out on the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to that podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. We have our Stalter Stackup for this previous week's NFL slate, Week 15. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Oh, Sean McVay has the best playbook. Oh.
Stalter on the fumble.
Oh, my God. Anthony.
You like that? You like that?
You're wrong on this one, Anthony.
Anthony, who cares what you think?
On stacks, on stacks, on stacks.
All right, time for the Stalter / Fastlane Stack Up. Top 10 teams in the National Football League. Here we go. Let's see how much we disagree. Fire.
Number 10.
Number 10. I got the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos win tonight against the LA Chargers. I think they're the better team this evening. I like their defense. Bo Nix got to play a little better than he did the last 2 weeks. Turnover is a big issue the last 2 weeks, but the rookie quarterback has had a fine season. And I got the Broncos at number 10.
Give it to you, Anthony. Your list is starting off just fine. I got the Broncos there, too.
Appreciate you, kid.
Yep.
Give me the Denver Broncos.
Oh, a little fast lane cohesion. Man, that feels good.
Number 9.
Give me those fire them cannons. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 9. They dropped 40 on the Chargers. They're the eventual NFC South champions. Baker Mayfield playing out of his mind. And when you don't cover Mike Evans, like the Chargers forgot to, boy, the Buccaneers offense looks pretty good. You get a healthy Bucky Irving back at some point. That two-headed running back tandem looks pretty good. It's still questionable about the defense, but the defense has also played pretty. They've played better over the last month. Bucks at 9.
Yeah, you lost me there. I got the Rams, although not a great performance, not scoring a lot against the 49ers last weekend. They are the team you do not want to see. They are the team that most teams are going to fear. So, give me the Rams.
Anthony, I'm with you. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here at 9. Of course, your eventual NFC South champions.
No question.
They should just give it to them right now.
They won't. They can't blow it. There's no way.
This is you're doing that thing. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're doing that. You're doing it.
Number 9.
It's
Number 8.
Give me Carey's Pittsburgh Steelers. Pretty crap performance in Philadelphia last week. Absolutely horrendous. Barely showed up. Defense couldn't get off the field for the last 10 minutes or so. But I don't have anybody better right now. So I got the Steelers here at number 8. Don't look good right now, especially with T.J. Watt potentially out.
Nah, he's fine.
George Pickens looking like he's going to miss a third straight game.
He might.
I like the Ravens to win this weekend against Pittsburgh, even though the Ravens have had some issues with the Steelers. But yeah, I got the Steelers 8.
Speaking of Ravens, I got them here at 8 because they are behind the Steelers in the division.
For now.
They're the number 18. I mean, if we can do this again next week, I'm sure we will. But right now, they're number 8. Played well. Lamar threw 8. I said 8 touchdowns. It seemed like 8. He threw 5. But it felt like
there's a fifth
15.
quarter he would have thrown 8.
He was playing out of his mind. I think it's going to be a really good matchup this weekend. I want to see how the Steelers rebound from that tough loss last week.
Anthony, we're batting 1,000 right now. 3 for 3 so far. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 8.
Number 7, thank you.
Give me the Baltimore Ravens at number 7. Did you have the Packers here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I wrote down?
You switch it?
I switched it.
No!
I had the Packers at 7.
Damn!
Give me the Packers at number 7.
Yes!
Give me the Packers at number 7. I wrote it down. I have it right here.
That's a great choice.
Packers 7. I flipped it because I was like, the Packers. I think that Green Bay is one of those teams that is surging late.
Yep.
I also think they're somewhat combustible. Like, are you guys waiting for Jordan Love to either throw 3 touchdowns or throw a back-breaking interception at any point? Because that's kind of how I feel about the Packers. Really good team, but I almost don't trust them yet.
Yeah.
I don't trust them that I maybe I'm still spiteful because I lost to the Lions on Thursday night when I picked them. I was the only one.
Yeah.
But anyways, long story short, give me the Packers 7.
I have the Packers here as well because I feel like they are the number 17. They have figured some things out. They're running the ball really well. And if you run the ball well, especially come playoff time, you don't have to lean on a younger quarterback. I know he's not younger in age, but younger in years as a starter.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs has been doing a fantastic job running the ball. I think he got dinged up a little bit last week, but he should be fine. I got the Packers right here.
You know what? I'm going to switch mine to Packers at number 7.
Number 6.
All right, I'm going to stick with this. The Baltimore Ravens, I have at number 6. I think they're going to beat the Steelers this weekend. I don't trust their secondary, but they won't need the secondary this week because George Pickens is not available, and the Steelers, when he's not available, they don't really throw the ball. Lamar, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, like they've got it all. But can they play consistently? If they can, they're a top 3 team, but we've seen them stumble at times. Yet, again, big weekend. I got the Ravens this weekend. I got the Ravens here at 6.
I got the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. And the men have not beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers yet. I don't know how you got them over the Pittsburgh Steelers when they ain't beat them.
I'm anticipating.
Okay, well, you should wait a week if that's how it feels.
Nah.
You know? You seem like you put the horse before the cart, right? Is that how that goes? Is that it?
Cart before the horse.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I put the horse before the cart when I picked
the horse
them.
before the cart.
Yeah, well, they have that
cart before the horse.
I see that walking downtown. You know, when you're downtown, you see the horse carrying the cart, right?
Yeah.
No, the horse goes before the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the statement is you're putting the cart
before the horse, which is backwards.
Yes.
Like his Stalter Stackup.
Maybe he's walking backwards.
Maybe he's
Can horses walk backwards?
I think so.
I don't know.
You did look.
Yeah, they probably can. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Oh, no, Terry.
I got the Steelers.
I also have the Baltimore Ravens at number 6. We'll see. This might change. I think
it's going to change. I think it's going to change right now.
5.
Give me the Vikings. I anticipate the Vikings actually moving up even more here. Jamie laughed when I threw out this suggestion, but I think the Vikings are a legit Super Bowl contender. The Lions' injuries, certainly go into that, but Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind. They too can run the football. You got to deal with all the receivers that they have. The O-line has held up despite the injuries, and I've loved what Brian Flores has done with the defense since week 1. Give me the Vikings at 5.
I have the Vikings at 5 as well. Easy for me to say. Do it.
I had the Vikings above the Eagles last week. Both teams picked up a win, but I thought Philly's win was a little bit more impressive given that they beat the Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings beat the Bears, who are barely an NFL team at this point. So I have the Vikings at 5 right now.
Wow.
Number 4.
I got the Lions at 4. I have dropped them significantly. These injuries are brutal. Offensively, great, but you just lost David Montgomery. I think they'll be fine because they got Gibbs, and Gibbs could probably, pick up more, but that defense is decimated. Like, this is, I feel bad ranking them 4 because they're probably the number 1 team in the league when healthy, but you got to factor in the injuries. I thought they were walking a tightrope. That's why I picked the Bills last week, and things could really go off the rails here. They may not even win the division.
I got the Chiefs. Man, they good win last week, but I still don't trust them. They're number 14 for me.
Number 4, I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
What?
Philadelphia Eagles.
What?
Interesting.
Kerry, you have Pittsburgh at
6.
It's
very, very respectful number.
Man,
they're the division leaders right now. What are we talking about?
Number 3.
You're saying that with less bravado this week.
Nope, it's the truth.
Give me the Chiefs here at number 3. What can you say? They're every week you feel like at some point they could lose. Last week, their defense stepped back up, though, and that was one of the problems, I thought, for a little bit of a stretch.
Jameis just
say,
hey. All right, the Jameis magic is over.
Yeah, they played who they played. The Pat Mahomes injury, not great, but he's going to play this weekend, it sounds like. Chiefs at 3. There'll be 1 when it's all said and done, but 3 for now.
Give me the Lions here at 3. Like you said, a bunch of injuries. Feel like they are starting to fade away, but they're still holding strong.
Kerry, I'm with you. I have Detroit at 3 as well. They're still a good football team, and I think that they'll win until that final week. Then they'll lose the division.
Number 2.
Give me the Eagles here at number 2. Sometimes a family can operate under dysfunction, and that's the Eagles. I don't think they have great leadership, but they have great talent. Nick Sirianni is screaming at one of his defensive linemen, Jalen Carter, and it just seems like they're a combustible team, but yet they still win. And they dominated the Steelers last week. There was nothing left of Pittsburgh when Philadelphia got done with them last week. And really, they could have scored 800 more points, but they decided to just take the air out of the ball and the will and the soul of the Steelers.
That's a bit harsh.
Give me the Eagles at 2.
I got the Eagles here as well.
I have Kansas City at 2, just because they have only lost 1 game. I feel weird not putting them up here because they've only lost 1 game, but I just can't stand them, so they're not 1.
Okay.
Number 1.
Bills, all say aye?
Aye.
All right. There you go. Stalter Stackup / Fastlane Stackup. NFL Week 16. Let's do a little pick'em. Which team is essentially facing a must-win situation in Week 16? Which quarterback's under the biggest microscope? We'll answer some of those questions next on 101 ESPN. If you need a new ride, if you're in the market for a used vehicle, you got to go down and see my guys at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. You can actually start at AutoCentersNissan.com. That's what my wife Kristen and I did when we purchased a pre-owned Pathfinder. And that pre-owned Pathfinder, we love. It fits us perfectly in the Stalter household. We've got the 3 kids, which means we've got a busy sports schedule. We're always coming and going, and the space needed is great. In fact, we actually went down and saw Sebastian Maniscalco on Saturday night, and we took some friends, and they all fit perfectly because got the 3rd seat. Auto Centers Nissan, it's not just Pathfinders, got all kinds of vehicles there. And if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, if you're looking for a brand new Nissan, they have over 700 vehicles in stock, ready to go, ready to be purchased, and they've got financing options for everyone that walks through the door. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. At Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, if you need that vehicle, they'll find a way to finance it. In fact, their financing department is the best that you're going to find. When it comes to the other incentives that they have, you can look for massive year-end dealer discounts right now, like up to $11,900 off MSRP on select new Nissan models. And as always, qualified new and used vehicles at Auto Centers come with their complimentary lifetime warranty, plus all new Nissans come with that 30-day return promise. No one offers this option with 3 free oil changes included through the Nissan Maintenance Care Plan. It's Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com.
Knowledge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Boy, you sure know how to pick 'em.
Tonight, we've got Broncos, Chargers, at least in the NFL, right here on 101 ESPN. We get the Blues and Lightning. But tonight, we've got the AFC West matchup between the Broncos and the Chargers, and this is one of my upsets this weekend. I do like the Denver Broncos. I think they're the better team coming into this game. I think if you look back to that Sunday night loss to the Ravens, the Chargers haven't played well. The one win over that span that they had was when Kirky Football, now benched, threw 4 interceptions. Otherwise, they didn't score an offensive touchdown in that game. They got rocked last week by the Bucs. They had that loss to the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins being out, they haven't looked like the same team. Justin Herbert has been banged up. They can't protect him. I think Denver goes into L.A. tonight and they beat them.
I agree. I got Denver winning this game as well. I put them number 10. It might be the first time they've made it on my list of the Stalter Stackup. But they are playing well. They are right there on the cusp of, if they're not in the playoffs, they're right there on the cusp of it. So, yeah, I got the Broncos. Are they number 7 right now?
They're number 7 right now.
That's right. Okay. So, there you go.
Oh, man, the Broncos.
Number 6. They're ahead of the Chargers.
They're 6. Yeah. Look at them.
Yeah. I got the Broncos winning tonight.
You don't seem sure about it.
No.
You're not confident.
Well, I watched the game last week, and well, they got a pick 6, and they got 20 points in fantasy. I'm like, did you watch the game? It didn't look good.
Denver?
Yeah.
No, it didn't look good at all.
Looked terrible.
He was. I will give him this. He was hitting LA's defensive backs like Kirk Cousins did. I mean, right in the numbers.
It was not good. Here's the thing: the Chargers looked worse.
Yeah.
They were terrible, too. So I really don't know who to pick, but I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos just because, I don't know. I have Cortland Sutton on as my wide receiver going up against Carey and CDs, TDs, and so Neighbors Dave, I might as well pick them. I got to pick somebody, so I might as well ride with Broncos country. Let's ride.
Chargers defense, it's after it.
Okay.
Well, they didn't last week, so...
They're playing this juggernaut.
Ouch. All right, guys.
Buccaneers.
What team do you think is basically in do or die mode right now? Like if you're just to circle one, absolute must win this weekend.
Must win.
Lives.
The Bengals. They have to win every game.
I think they're done.
Yeah, I think they're
done. I think this might sound crazy. And maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does. The Detroit Lions got to win that game. Like, they need a first-round bye. They need to continue to win.
Yeah.
In order, I don't know if it's a must-win game, but you can't lose to the Bears in Chicago, and you can't not be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
No.
Because you've dealt with, way too many injuries up until this point. Like, you got guys dropping like flies. Maybe I know David Montgomery is going for a second opinion, and maybe he's able to come back in that divisional round if you don't have to play in the wild card round. Like, I don't know. This is probably, for a team that's as good as they are, this is probably as close to a must-win as they've had.
I see what you're saying.
Going down the stretch. And it's going to be that way for the rest of the weeks because Philadelphia is going to continue to chase them down. Like, if Philly doesn't lose and you have a false step here, you lose that number 1 seed.
I got the Rams. They're in New York to play the Jets.
Did you not talk about the Jets earlier?
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers has actually looked pretty good the last 2 weeks, and Seattle is hosting Marsh's Minnesota Vikings.
The hell is his Madden rating? That's all that matters, right?
You're right.
He might be cut by the time the game starts if his Madden rating isn't good enough.
Fair.
All right?
Nonetheless, CD, if I'm looking at it, the NFC West, they're tied right now. Seattle and the Rams are tied. Seattle's on the outside looking in, and they also have Minnesota. So if Minnesota knocks off the Seahawks, the Rams, you better win and you better beat the Jets.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. All right, we'll probably dive more into this tomorrow with the NFL Week 16 pick'em.
We got bowl or no bowl tomorrow.
Marsh, we playing bowl or no bowl?
Yeah, we should play bowl or no bowl tomorrow.
You've threatened that with us. You've threatened that with us the last couple of days.
Well, then Nolan Arenado decided to
nix a trade.
And
just
completely ruined my show.
Yeah, it happens that way. Like, oh, we got enough football to talk about. Oh, the Cardinals did something great. Okay, now let's spend half the damn show on that. Gauntlet playoffs continue next on 101 ESPN. Love heading down to the Missouri Athletic Club, whether it's getting my workout in or meeting friends for lunch or dinner, maybe, going out date night with Kristen. There's always something going on to take advantage of when it comes to being a club member of the Missouri Athletic Club. And later on this month, whether it's Breakfast with Santa or they've got the Santa Workshop, we get the kids involved. There's always something for the family, too. 2 different clubhouses, but 2 great atmospheres when it comes to my MAC, the Missouri Athletic Club.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
All right, the Gauntlet playoffs continue with round 2. Our guy Jared is back. He beat Marshy in football in round 1. So he'll take on either Carey or myself in round 2 today. What's up, Jared?
Doing well. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. Appreciate you coming on back. Congratulations on that round 1 victory. Now, you chose your category, so that means you're going to stick with your category. So what is your choice today?
Today will be baseball.
Today will be baseball. And it'll be either Carey or me. So, Jared, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Marshy.
All right, here we go. I don't think I've played yet in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
No, you have not.
Well, now you have.
And now you will.
Oh, wow. All right. Jared, good luck, man.
Good luck to you, too.
Thank you.
All right, Jared. Anthony is heading out to the cone of silence, and we are getting the launch codes from Marshy. You remember how this goes. You answer it correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, well, you get nothing. So, are you ready to roll?
Ready to rock.
All right, here we go. Okay. Two-time All-Star Gleyber Torres, who burst onto the scene with the Yankees in 2018. Torres finished 3rd in AL Rookie of the Year voting, but who won that season's award?
2018, you said?
Yep.
Let me get the options on that.
Is it Shohei Ohtani, Yordan Alvarez, or Andrew Benintendi?
Let's go with Shohei. Final answer.
Question number 2. In June's memorable Cardinals versus Giants showdown at Rickwood Field, who slashed a 2-run homer and a double for the victorious Redbirds?
Okay. I think it was Burley. Or was it Mason Wynn? That's one of those two. If I take the options, they'll both probably be on there. So let's do Alec Burleson. Final answer.
Question number 3. Last season, only one pitcher logged more than 22 quality starts. Name them.
Last season, I need the options.
Is it Tarek Skubal, Dylan Cease, or Zach Wheeler?
Skubal seems obvious, so it might be Wheeler. Let's go with Zach Wheeler. Final answer.
Question number 4. Can you tell us the largest on-campus facility in college baseball with a standing capacity of over 15,000 fans?
Oh, boy. Gotta be an SEC school. I feel like it's either maybe LSU or Texas A&M. Maybe Texas too. I'm not sure. I want to shoot, but I should probably take the options. So let's just take the options.
All right, hopefully I'm saying this correctly. Duddy Noble Field at Mississippi State, X Stadium at Notre Dame, or Condron Family Ballpark at Florida?
Actually, I think it's the Mississippi State field. I'm not sure. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry, but I'll go with that. The first option. Final answer.
All right.
All right, let's get Anthony back in here. He's waving him down. Jared, how you feel?
Yeah, those are tough.
Well, they are sometimes, depending on how they are, who's writing them. You know, it happens. Anthony, how are you, sir?
Good. Chatting with my guy, Mike Ryder.
Wasn't silent in the cone of silence
Nope.
today? No? Had some company?
I had some company.
Cool.
And what better company than one Michael Knight Rider?
Doesn't get much better than that. Anthony?
Yes.
Tell him, Martian.
Pack a lunch.
All right, here we go. Two-time All-Star Gleyber Torres, who burst onto the scene with the Yankees in 2018. Torres finished 3rd in the AL Rookie of the Year voting, but who won that season's award?
In 2018? In the American League? I mean, Aaron Judge probably would have been in that area. Yordan Alvarez would have been in that area. Shohei, maybe. I'll take the options just in case I'm forgetting somebody.
Is it Shohei Ohtani, Yordan Alvarez, or Andrew Benintendi?
Oh, jeez. I don't think it was Benintendi. So Yordan or Shohei. And I feel like Ohtani came in before Yordan. I'll take Shohei Ohtani. Final answer.
Question number 2. In June's memorable Cardinals versus Giants showdown at Rickwood Field, who slashed a 2-run homer and a double for the victorious Redbirds?
I know this answer because I needed to get back in the home run chase. And Brendan Donovan hit that home run to get me back into that home run chase, which I eventually lost. So Brendan Donovan, final answer. And Marsh tried to give the points to Jamie. I'm still upset about it.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Last season, only one pitcher logged more than 22 quality starts. Name him.
How many?
22.
22 quality starts?
My, how the mighty have fallen.
All right, well, Paul Skeens came up later in the year. Garrett Cole was hurt from the majority of the year. Shohei obviously didn't pitch. Framber Valdez had a good year, but I don't know if he had that good of a year. I'm trying to think. Carlos Rodon did not pitch well. Corbin Burns, maybe, for Baltimore. I'll take the options.
Is it Tarek Skubal, Dylan Cease, or Zach Wheeler?
Oh, well, good thing I asked, because I would probably swim with Burns. All right, so let's think about this. Skubal, who?
Skubal, Cease, Wheeler.
I don't think it was Cease. Skubal or Wheeler for quality starts. I don't think Skubal would have had that many. I'm going to go with Wheeler. Final answer.
Question number 4. Can you tell us the largest on-campus facility in college baseball with a standing capacity of over 15,000 fans?
Of course not. Can I have the answer or the options?
Yes. Duty or Duddy Noble Field at Mississippi State, Eck Stadium at Notre Dame, or Condren Family Ballpark at Florida?
Notre Dame has like small everything, so it's no. I'll go the Florida one. Final answer.
All right. Let's start there. Can you tell us the largest on-campus facility in college baseball with a standing capacity of over 15,000 fans? Anthony, with the options, you said Florida. What else should I know? Jared, also with the options, you said Duty Noble Field at Mississippi State. Correct answer is?
Yeah, it's the first one, Mississippi State Stadium.
Nice job, Jared.
1-0 for Jared. Let's go to question number... third question. Last season, only one pitcher logged more than 22 quality starts. Name him. With the options, Anthony, you said Zach Wheeler. Also with the options, Jared, you said Zach Wheeler. The correct answer is...
It's Zach Wheeler.
Wow.
And a 2-1 lead.
Nice job, Jared.
For Jared.
You too.
First question. Two-time All-Star Gleyber Torres, who burst onto the scene with the Yankees in 2018. Torres finished third in AL Rookie of the Year voting, but who won that season's award? Anthony, you said Shohei Ohtani. Jared, you said Shohei Ohtani. The correct answer is...
Oh, it's Carey's favorite baseball player now. It's Shohei Ohtani.
You better believe it. But... you both actually needed the options.
Oh.
It is a 3-2 score. Jared, you are up by 1. Final question. In June's memorable Cardinals-Giants showdown at Rickwood, who slashed a 2-run home run and a double for the victorious Redbirds? Anthony, you said it's Brendan Donovan. Jared, you said, I'm pretty sure it was Alec Burleson. Correct answer is?
It's Brendan Donovan.
Jared.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Anthony got you 4-3 on that question. Neither of you needed the options, but it was Brendan Donovan. He's from Alabama, and he had a heck of a day.
He did.
In Alabama.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Jared, that was a battle, man. Nice job.
Well done, Anthony. Great job.
Thank you.
You said Donovan. I was like, oh, yep, that's right.
And honestly, Jared, the only reason I got that is because I remember picking him in the home run derby. So that's I got lucky today, Jared.
Well done, man. You did great.
Thank you. Congratulations on your first Gauntlet trophy, and making it to the second round here.
Appreciate it, guys. Before I leave, I just want to give a special shout-out. Today is my sister Jamie's birthday. She's listening. I just wanted to say happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day.
Well, happy birthday, Jamie. Absolutely.
Jared's sister, Jamie, not our Jamie.
Yeah.
He's not listening.
No, yeah.
But she is,
Absolutely.
and we appreciate you.
Yes. So happy birthday, Jamie. Jared, thanks, pal.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
You too.
Marsh, I'm surprised you didn't beat him. Jared's a super nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in a funk there for a little bit.
Yeah, you had.
It happens, You can't be great all the time. Sometimes
true.
You go through dry spells.
Sure. Yeah, it happens to all of us. All right. Why don't we get back into the Nolan Arenado conversation here? We can all agree that Nolan Arenado can do whatever the hell he wants. Does it make more sense for the Cardinals just to keep him then? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals are there for you, especially if you are a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling. You need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. At Scrap Mart, they understand that job site cleanup for contractors is a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it will be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can truly help your business's cash flow. You don't have to be a business owner. You can have some things that you need to recycle in your home. Maybe you had a yard sale, a garage sale, things that you need to get rid of. You can take them to Scrap Mart Auto Metals as well, and you can haul it away yourself. They have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it, whether it's copper wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron. It is recycling made easy. Just go to scrapmartmetals.com. If you're a contractor, my guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
Sports 6 back in 10 minutes. So if you want to send any questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, you can do so. 314-399-9646. Again, Sports 6 back in about 10 minutes or so. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. At this point, does it make sense for the Cardinals just to keep Nolan Arenado?
Does he want to be here?
Ish.
Okay, well, you paying him?
You're already paying him.
Well, why not? Can he play?
Yeah.
Good. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want a 10-time Gold Glove winner to man the hot corner?
Well,
you don't like that, Anthony? You don't like defense?
I do like defense.
Yeah, you told me defense matters. I said just score runs, and you like, nah.
Well, you're going to have to score a lot of runs. You know why? You got a catcher playing first base.
Well, he's a first baseman now.
And a DH playing catcher, so...
He's a catcher now. I don't know what the problem is.
I'm going to look at you halfway through the season. When the Cardinals are piss poor on defense, I'm going to look at you square in your face, and I'm going to say to you, Carey, don't you complain at all about this atrocious defense.
I tell you what.
Because you're all about scoring runs. You better win games 9-8.
How many RBIs does Herrera have?
I don't know.
That's the number I'll pull up.
Ain't gonna matter if he's throwing the ball in the center field again.
Just don't throw it. Just eat it.
Oh boy. And before anybody says it, yes, it's up to the pitcher also on the runner. I feel like anytime we bring that up, it's like, well, guys, why don't you guys ever talk about this? We do.
They're all,
Herrera doesn't throw runners out well.
The pitch is it's taking too long to get to him.
Okay.
He doesn't have a chance, Anthony. Yeah. That's my story. I'm okay with no. Why are you shaking your head?
It's not like the pitches are like in the dirt or they're right down the middle, Kerry.
Well, sometimes, in fairness to the catchers, that runner is halfway down the line.
Sometimes, yes, not every time.
He's halfway there. He's standing up going into second.
Right.
I didn't even have to throw him out. You couldn't. So.
Jason for the snake pit goes, watch, the Cards will be stellar on defense and throwing out all kinds of runners.
There you go.
Hey, you know what, though?
It has happened before.
You know what? I just thought of something. Mm-hmm. If the defense isn't as good and the runner takes an extra base, then that helps the stealing numbers, right? And the lack thereof catching runners running from first to second. That'll knock those numbers down because they'll already be on second.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's a Marsh.
You got to find the positive.
There was a half glass full approach to that, and I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I tried.
They got this.
So if the Cardinals keep Nolan Arenado, all right, not the end of the world. It does seem like it's Dodgers or nothing for Nolan Arenado, which does nothing for you if you're the Cardinals. Not that he owes the Cardinals anything, but from like just a baseball, just put yourself in the Cardinals' shoes. Looking at this in a vacuum, if it's Dodgers or nothing, you have no leverage at all.
It sounds like they're the ones that want to get rid of him to begin with.
Well, yeah, because I think they want to jumpstart this retool and play Nolan Gorman at third base.
Then you can't complain where he wants to go or if he doesn't want to go. I'm not saying that to you.
I know.
I'm talking to the Cardinals.
I'm not saying they are complaining. I'm just saying, like, take the emotion out of it. If it's the Dodgers or nothing, you're screwed.
Well, here's the thing: you're going
to be paying the full freight.
You're going to pay it either way. So just move on from him if you're that adamant about getting younger players an opportunity to play. But I would bet good money they're not that. We don't really want them to play that bad. Like we want them to play if somebody else will pay them.
Yeah.
But if we got to pay them to go sit down somewhere, might as well play. So. You always have a choice. Now, you may not like your choices in life, but you always have a choice.
That's true.
Right? You don't have to like them. It might be a terrible choice and an even more terrible option, but
we're faced with that usually every four. Never mind. Kerry, it's weird what's going on here right now because you guys, I felt, developed a little spite yesterday for the Cardinals. You were all about Nolan Arenado and basically jamming it up the Cardinals, you know what.
Yeah.
It's weird, though.
What?
I'm starting to develop this, well, if it's Dodgers or nothing, then we're already paying you and go play third base.
And guess what he'll do?
And if we stink,
that's on.
Then you're going to hate it. So I don't think I have to wait this situation out. I think I just got to wait you out. Know what I mean? Like the spike can kind of go both ways.
Who's going to break first?
Exactly. Oh, it's a Dodger nothing, is it? Okay, no problem. Go ahead. You go play third base. Hope you like 83 wins.
You know, it's like how just
in the twilight of your career. Go for it.
It's, hey, we really want you to be here. Well, I want to be here. Well, great. We're actually going to trade you, though, after, like, what, a year and a half of you re-upping, or 2 years, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what year it is right now. But we don't want you anymore. Well, you know what? Okay, that's fine. I'll go here or I'll stay. Well, what the heck? You don't want to go now?
No.
You don't want to go now? We want you to go. It's like, dude, you wanted me here like a couple years ago. Like, but all of a sudden now, because you can't put together a baseball team, now I'm affected?
Well, we tried to put together a baseball team. The collection of talent just didn't work out.
Well,
right?
Listen.
We can talk about, if we can talk about Nolan Arenado and how he's just, it's fine. Hey, you earned the right and all that stuff. Cool. But last time I checked, he was on all those teams that didn't win either. I'm not going to absolve Nolan Arenado.
He is part of it.
How many hits do you have in the playoffs for the Cardinals? Going on one?
Where'd he finish? Dead last?
Yeah, we had a nice day. You know, this is an arranged marriage. They deserve each other.
I have no issue with it. I mean, if you're the Cardinals, you are trying to move on. But if you're Nolan Arenado, if you don't want to go somewhere, you earn that right.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, we just saw P.O. Joseph get traded. His brother was there. He was having, according to Jamie, they were having dinner. Mm-hmm. Got a text message. Got a phone call.
That
you
sucks.
up? You are? Hey, let me holler at you for a second. What? Hey, that phone call? I've received many of those phone calls telling me my services are no longer welcome here.
Just don't pick up the phone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got to come to work, and then when you do, your key fob doesn't work. Like, what the hell? Did I get fired and I didn't answer?
Who was that with the Jets the one year? Remember his Hard Knocks?
It was like a meme
safety
for it.
Earl used to play for the Legion of Boom.
Earl Campbell.
Earl Thomas?
Yeah, it was
Earl Thomas.
Wasn't it? No,
it wasn't Earl Thomas.
It was the other side. It was the other
Jamal
safety.
Adams?
Jamal Adams.
Who was with the Jets and then went to Seattle.
That's what
Jamal
it was.
Adams, yeah. Did I get let go already?
Yeah. See?
I'll be honest. I'm kind of annoyed by both parties in this situation. Like, they both have reasons for me to be annoyed.
Yeah.
Why would you be annoyed at Nolan Arenado? Based on this decision, not anything previous, not the lack of playoff success, not the lack of, Cardinal success while he's been here.
Because
why would you be upset at him?
March, you just want to move on.
Just move on, dude.
You want to move on.
Why? I like it here. My family's here.
All right.
I got loved ones here. I've grown to love this city.
That's fine. Then
offered me an extension a couple of years. You offered me money. I'm good. Yeah. Why are you mad at me?
Well, I'm mad at you.
Because I don't want to leave.
Okay.
I like it. They got toasted wraps and Emo's Pizza, which you love.
Just the idea of like the Dodgers have to say no in order for this to move on is so irritating because if I know that, they know that. What is stopping them from being like, well, we're not going to say anything for a couple of months. We don't have to do anything.
That's what I was saying about the
we can field two damn good teams based on all the players we have. We'll just keep this going because ultimately it's not fast laning us over.
Yeah.
It's screwing you over.
We'll just wait until if somebody gets hurt, they won't make a move.
We'll call you. Hey, don't call me.
10 starting pitchers.
Like the Cardinals are the Dodgers farm system. Oh, this is embarrassing.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah. All right, let's just be done with this. Let's go to our six-pack, huh? A little six-pack action on a Thursday. 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Send your questions there. Sports Six-Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Pre-game starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. We talked earlier with Chris Kerber, who will be on the call tonight for your St. Louis Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our Sports Six-Pack question, or our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. So get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do the six-pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerry, would you like to share with the class? Nah, I can't. All right.
I mean, I can, but we'll talk about it.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack. Can I ask the first question to you guys?
Question number 1.
Sure.
Thank you. So,
Sure.
I was listening. It's not my show. It's our show. It can't be my show, and one of the tags is, and one average Joe. You know? Like, come on. Couple of champs and this guy. Like, it can't be my show if it's that.
Couple of former athletes and one second baseman.
And one wannabe shortstop. No. So I was listening to the John Middlecoff podcast. He was a former scout with the Eagles, and he talks a lot of football. And he was ripping the Falcons because of Kirk Cousins, the whole Kirk Cousins deal. And how can you sign this guy? You're such a terrible organization. You're not well run. This, that, and the other thing. The cap hit's gonna be. You're screwed the next couple of years. He goes on for about 10 minutes just crushing the Falcons, which
you loved it, didn't you?
Like some of it, I'm like, all right, he's got a good point. And then part of me, I'm like, geez, dude, like, lighten up. But eventually, he transitioned. And the first thing he did when he transitioned was talk about the Thursday night football game with the Broncos and Chargers. And he goes, the Broncos, I love the way they play. This is great. Bo Nix, he's going on and on about how great of an organization the Broncos are. So I thought to myself, I go,
what did they just do?
They are carrying a massive cap hit because of Russell Wilson. A mistake. They overpaid an aging veteran quarterback. The cap hit extends to next year. But why aren't we crushing the Broncos? Because they're winning and Bo Nix has worked out, right?
Yeah.
So to me, here's the question. Does any of this matter with Kirk Cousins if Michael Penix balls out?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't. And here's the thing.
Thank you.
And there's no definitive answer that they're going to just release him next year. Like they don't have to. You always need a backup quarterback. He's getting paid what? $25 million a year? Is that right? What he's getting paid right now? Will it go up to, I think it goes up to 40?
Who's that,
year?
Kirk Cousins right now, his guarantees are like $63 million this year. It drops next year.
There you go.
That's why everybody was saying it's basically a 2-year deal. So if they release him, the cap hit's going to be massive next
be $40
season,
million.
And that's going to be it.
Right.
I think there's a little bit the following year, but it's no worse than what Denver's going through right now.
Correct. And so when people are so frustrated about Kirk and the huge contract,
Splashback Deuce goes because he's a short-sighted donkey, Anthony. That made me laugh out loud.
I feel like they had to sign a quarterback. You don't know when you go into the draft. You don't know who's going to draft who. It is a wait-and-see process. You don't know what the teams in front of you are going to do. You don't know what the teams behind you are going to do. You don't know if they're going to trade up with somebody in front of you to take the player. So you solidified your quarterback room by going and getting Kirk Cousins. People might not have liked it. You might not have liked the number that he was given, but you didn't have a quarterback. And he was damn sure an upgrade from Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke, correct?
Initially, yes.
Still to this day. To this day, he's still an upgrade to what you had last year.
Desmond Ridder, 4th down. He threw a ball maybe 2 yards. But, man, did they convert that 4th down.
That they did.
They did.
He had him.
Why are you throwing it 2 yards to the side of the field? First down.
First
All
down.
right, I'll stop talking.
Fair enough.
So you upgraded the position from last year, right? And then you were fortunate enough to have a player the caliber of Michael Penix Jr. fall to you when he did. You don't know how that's going to play out. And when you have your best player on the board and he's available, you draft him.
Yeah.
And now your future is set up. People may have complained when Jordan Love was drafted. It worked out pretty well. I know.
Absolutely did.
But it seems to have worked out really well. They complained when Aaron Rodgers was drafted.
Correct.
It worked out really well. If you're looking for a recipe on how to manage the quarterback position, the Green Bay Packers have done it really well for the last 30 years. They've done a really good job of making that transition. And when a guy is done, hey, love what you did for us.
Right.
See you later. Yeah. We got this young guy. We got to see what he got. Right. And so they've done a perfect job of how to manage that position. I'm not upset with what the Falcons did. You don't know if Penix was going to fall to you. You had to get a quarterback. He was one of the better quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback available on the open market.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Right.
You got to get a quarterback.
Yeah,
you cannot bring those two back. So you went and did that. I didn't have a problem with it. It hasn't worked out. And so you move on, and you let this young man get an opportunity. Now he's your starter.
And to your point, and to my question, the Packers, it's worked out because Aaron Rodgers worked out and because Jordan Love worked out.
There you go.
It's all about whether or not the young quarterback works out.
But they also,
bottom line,
they also waited a couple of years to have that opportunity.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, for those that don't remember, waited a year to have an opportunity. There's nothing, as long as
Lamar, half a year.
Half a year. Like, it's okay to let these young men. Bryce Young was thrusted right into the starting lineup. How'd that work out?
Not well.
Okay.
Yep.
Every now and then it does. C.J. Stroud, it worked out for him his rookie year. It's been kind of up and down this year, but those are the exception to the rule. More times than not, you need that time to figure it out, watch, learn, and then you get your opportunity. So I'm not mad about it.
All right.
Question number 2.
Forgot we were doing the 6-pack for a second. I'm just kidding. From the 217, ESPN wants to trade you to another station. Who is on your no-trade list?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Does it have to be another radio station?
Well, I'm thinking maybe like a city. Like, which city would you not want to go to? And obviously, we take
because I was going to say, we want. They can't
maybe
trade.
not any job.
They can't trade me to Dunkin' Donuts. No offense to those that work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, I'm talking.
We're talking about radio stations.
Radio stations like city
for a player to be named later. Future considerations
like OKC. That's.
AB says should have drafted a pass rusher and kept Ritter. Are you a Saints fan? You're a Saints fan, AB. You silly. Yeah, I don't know. It really.
I mean, Anthony, you've lived everywhere, so
that is true.
I don't know if I'd say where would I say no to?
That's kind of the point I'm making. You were born in New York, Florida,
That's
Detroit.
That's your list.
Chicago.
Yeah.
But when they send you to a different place that's not on your list, Anthony,
you
probably don't want to go.
I got one. Cleveland.
Nah, you want to be the savior.
No.
Take your ass to Cleveland.
No.
Take your ass to Cleveland and be the savior for talk radio in Cleveland. You go do it. You told me earlier you want to be the savior.
Want it.
You do it.
I don't want it now. I don't want to go. I don't want to talk about Ohio State and like the Browns.
What?
No, thank you. And the Guardians. I'm good. So Cleveland.
That's ridiculous, Anthony. I'm disappointed.
Is yours Cleveland?
Come on. Alaska is a tough one. There are no sports there. What sports are you going to cover?
I don't know.
Yeah,
you can think about anything there, right?
You probably could.
Wouldn't you think?
I mean, if you don't have any, yeah, maybe.
What do they? I mean, what does Alaska cover? Sports-wise.
Oh, they got
Probably
hockey. They got college hockey.
National sports. All sports. What's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think people forget that Alaska is a state in the United States?
Some people.
Maybe. Yeah.
Some
you
people.
cover the dog races, says Droid.
Yeah, the Iditarod. That's a huge thing up there.
What'd you call us?
You heard me.
Jeez. All right, Marsh, are we done?
I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Fire
you want
away.
one more?
Yeah.
All right.
Question number 3.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get through 2 questions. From 618. This is a shortened show, so.
Yeah.
We got an excuse. From the 618. What does a realistic Cards 2025 record look like? And do you think by the year's end, we'll be more optimistic by 26?
I'll say 83 wins, 83 to 84 wins, and yes. Kerry?
You think 83 wins? How many did they win last year? 85?
83.
You think they're going to repeat what they did last year without the guys that they had last year?
What are you missing?
I just asked the question.
Oh, no, Lance Lynn's going. Like, come on.
I just asked the question.
Sorry, Lance.
Yeah, that was harsh. He's a great guy, I'm sure.
Great guy, great career.
Hard worker.
Yes. You the man.
I say 85. 80. You know what? I'll give you the same range.
You give me crap and then you added 2 wins.
It'll be better.
What are we doing here?
They're better, Anthony.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. There's your Sports 3-pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. You're welcome. So we've got Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments. Next on 101 ESPN. miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app podcast, always brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Marsh gave me some disheartening news in the break, but we checked it over, and it's the record I've earned thus far. I thought I had 6 points. Marsh was telling me, hey, you got 6 points.
In Bet the Board?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I just picked up my 6 point last night.
Oh, how did he give you an extra point? Did he give you my point for Dame Lillard over 30 and a half?
I don't think so. Especially when it was 33.
Are we sure about that?
Nope.
We're going to have to do... I'm going to listen to the...
When Marsh tried to screw me out of that Packers 3.5, I went back and checked.
I'm going to check it out myself. But the
what month?
I'm going to check it out. I got to see.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. That's 2 days ago. Are we sure it wasn't 30 and a half, Marshy?
I heard 33 and a half.
As did I.
I bet you did.
You know what, Carey?
I actually did.
Carey, if you want to go back and check.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, so Marsh, what are the correct standings?
All right, so the correct standings minus Carey checking. Yeah. As of right now, Jamie and I are tied at 8 points, and Carey and you, Anthony, are tied at 6 points.
Yeah. That
hurts.
You're okay. You're okay.
I thought I was within 1. Now I'm 2 after last night.
So we already know Jamie picked Seattle money line tonight in the NHL. I'm going back to the well with Jordan Kyrou, 3+ shots on goal at minus 115.
Carey, what would you like?
Give me Steph Curry over 34 and a half points, rebounds, and assists.
You don't have to yell at us.
I just want to make sure we hear it correctly.
You have Seth Curry over...
All right, no problem, CD.
Is he even playing anymore?
I don't know. I don't know where he is.
Seth Curry.
Seth.
Give me the Denver Broncos plus 2.5 tonight against the Chargers. I actually think the Broncos went outright, but for bet the board purposes, I'll just tuck the 2.5 in my back pocket. Never know if I might need it.
He's in what is it, Charlotte?
Oh, he's yeah.
He's
Seth
a Hornet.
Curry over 34 and a half.
Yeah, right.
Wrote it down.
No.
Go ahead, Marsh.
Won't be that.
All right, before we get out of here, 3 stars of the day. Our 3rd star goes to Chris Kerber's Football Insight on his New York Football Giants.
Yes. Way to go,
Giants.
2nd star of the day goes to your Madden rating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, CD.
That's okay. That's fine.
And the number 1 star goes out to being the savior for Cleveland sports.
Yes,
yeah,
Anthony.
Nice.
Anthony.
Nice. If you're a quarterback, not necessarily a radio host.
You can do both.
All right. Blues Lightning pregame starting in less than 5 minutes. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.